Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of Preseason Thunder here at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's the Speed Dash Series, and joining me in the booth, as always, is Joe. I am Bob, and this is going to be fun. Pure chaos, pure fun. It's Bristol in its prime. And Joe, I cannot wait. An interesting format for us tonight. We'll get into that momentarily. But Joe, these mini stocks, not something we're used to seeing here at the high banks of Bristol.
No, not at all. This is a first for me. I believe they're new in iRacing. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
So this is new to me in general. I haven't raced with these yet. I haven't seen them. We were watching these guys practice. They do indeed sound like angry lawnmowers, and I'm here for it.
Always a fun time for sure. We've got a few in-car cameras as well that we're going to be checking in on things, but tonight's format is going to be a bunch of fun, and it's going to be guaranteed to maybe throw a little wrench into some drivers' plans here tonight. So the first thing we start off with is 2-lap qualifying. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing wild and crazy that we haven't seen before. But if you're an oval racer who primarily races in NASCAR, they're doing something you don't normally see in NASCAR races, and that's heat racing. Essentially, after everyone has done their qualifying lap, iRacing will then split everyone off into 2 heats. These 2 heats are going to determine the starting position for you in the main event. 24 cars are going to make it into the main event, and the top 12 drivers in each heat, after 15 laps, will make it into the final main event race. And that main event race is going to be 70 laps with cautions turned on to see who is going to be the best here in this final recruitment preseason race for the Speed Dash Series.
I'm so excited. It's going to be utter chaos, and I literally can't wait. We have 30 seconds left.
So much fun. Lots of drivers there out on the racetrack. Plenty of cars still just kind of warming up, trying to get things going here. Martin Plute, the fastest out there on the racetrack tonight with a lap time of 16.74. Chris Darling, another speed driver, also putting in a good lap with a 16.75. So definitely a lot of close racing out there. We see the top 10 all within less than 2.5 tenths of each other. So just like that, practice is over. We're going to jump over into the qualifying session. Again, 2 laps out there on the board for these drivers to put in as much speed as they can. And let's follow along. Here is Martin Plute. He is one of our drivers that has an in-car camera for tonight's race. There is Martin there, and of course, as he gets on the screen, he'll park and reset, trying to get as much momentum as he possibly can to go out there. A couple other drivers.
Not sure if he's used to this car either.
A couple other drivers that we have out there. Trying to look for all the drivers, different names, different numbers as well. We've got the 4 car of Ryan Newman. There is Newman out there on the track in that number 4 machine. Putting in a good run so far. Newman with that lap will go and do a 17.19. So good enough for 6th right now at the moment. And as that is going on, a ton of laps going up on the board. 24 drivers, I believe, have... 24 drivers will be making it into the main event.
Yep. As of my current head count, I believe we have 30 racers for the qualifying and heats.
So you'll see those drivers' names going on at the top of the racetrack right now, or at the top of your screen. This here is Joshua Colbreth. Great looking machine there. Gets the right rear kicked out slightly through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Good looking Shane Van Gisbergen paint scheme on that one. Sideways across the line. He'll be good enough for 8th right there. He's Ethan Amberg. 2nd place so far. Only one other driver. Now Amberg, the only driver out on the racetrack at the moment. Here's Dave Schutt getting himself ready to go. And again, this is a recruitment race, so this is an open session for anyone to join on iRacing. And if people like what they see, they can always join the league. League starts up next Tuesday night at 9:30 right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. Both on Twitch and YouTube. If you like what you see, give us a like, follow, subscribe, whatever channel you're watching us on. Let us know what you think. As Dave Schutt goes through for lap number 1. That is only going to be about 16th quick. Gonna have to pick up a little bit more time. Very loose out of turn 4. Not gonna be enough. Schutt, good enough for P16 right there. Ethan Amberg out there as well, just doing laps and practicing. But other than that, there's Tim Branson out there on pit road. Here's Landon Thrasher in the number 55 machine. Good looking lap so far. He's in the green. Coming out of turn number 4. First lap goes down on the board. That's going to be good for 12th with a 17.05. 21 cars have put up a lap time so far, with a handful of other cars who have either joined and left the session or have not put on a qualifying lap. As Thrasher gets a little loose coming out of 1 and 2, and he's going to park it.
Really, I really don't know what to expect from this race.
I really think this is going to be a ton of fun. I think it's going to be very chaotic and in the best way possible. We have 14 cars, or pardon me, there are going to be a handful of cars out there for the first heat. We will have to see where everyone is. Let's see if we can pull up the starting grid for this one. On the pole is going to be Martin Plute, Ethan Amberg on his outside, Sam Buckley, Chris Darling, row number 2, TJ Moon, Stan Hausman in row number 3, Matt Clifton, Landon Thrasher in row number 4, Joshua Colbreth and Tim Branson in row number 5, Corey Hutchinson, Ben Pelletier in row number 6. Row number 7 has Ryan Newman in the number 4 car and Chaz Justice in 14th. Dave Harrington, Zach Williams in row number 8. Row number 9 has Dave Schutt and Keith Powell. Row 10, Ezra Gualcho and Josh Langland, Chris Goswick and Keyshawn Clater in row number 11. Row number 12, Timothy Watson and Joey Brewer. Jared Callan and Logan Taylor, row number 13. Row number 14, Aiden Cook and Christopher Carnes. row 15, Cameron Norman, Wesley Baumeister, Ethan Hunt, and Brad Weems round up the 16-row 32-car field. This is certainly going to be a ton of fun. 15 laps here in the heat.
No cautions.
No cautions.
Gotta bring that up.
There is going to be a lot of chaos. We're going to have to be on top of things. We already apologize if things are missed slightly.
I mean, it's a small track. There's small cars. I was just looking up the specs of these things. They got about 250 horsepower. They weigh about 2,100 pounds. For your real-life example, the MX-5 Cup car is 181 horsepower and weighs about 2,400 pounds.
So, basically MX-5s in oval cars.
More power.
So the field making the drive out of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. We're racing here at Bristol. 15 laps to go. And this is going to be chaos. We're side by side for the lead all the way through the pack. Still side by side. Oh, it looks like one car in the wall. That might have been the 55 of Landon Thrasher. He's able to get that one off the wall. Stan Hausman also makes contact. They're 3 and 4 wide back there behind him. As looks like Keyshawn
big crash in the back end.
Glitter, even bigger wreck. That's Ezra Guecho making contact. Oh, another car hard in the wall. Let's take a look here at what happened to Guecho. They're 3 wide. Big contact there. Unfortunately, the 43 and another car, I believe that was the 2 car, had gotten into it. A couple other drivers having an issue as well.
Ooh, another big
A lot
wreck.
of chaos. As Landon Thrasher just wrecks. There's Thrasher in the silver car, and just a tap on the wall. He and Branson come together.
26 was riding the wall sideways there for a minute.
Meanwhile, out front, Martin Plute is the leader. A lot of chaos going on right now. Uzi Dorman in the chat saying, shout out to Chaz Justice. 4 AM Watch saying, yay, chaos. That is the best way to put it. Some more trouble. Looks like Josh Langlin has an issue here. He's in the 002. And yep, big slide out of 4, hardened the inside wall as the leaders are getting ready to come by him. Good battle here for the lead between Martin Plute and Ethan Amberg. TJ Moon trying to track them down.
Oop. The 32 crash
in there as well. Let's get a look at that one. That's Wesley Baumeister. 32 slides up. Oh, he and the 29 come together. Big loose moment again out of turn number 4. That's going to put the 32 into the wall hard. And he'll head down pit road. Meanwhile, this battle for the lead still heating up. Less than a tenth of a second between these 2 drivers. Now, Joe, time has been flying by. Coming to 5 to go this time.
Yeah, there's such, like I said, there's such fast cars, and it's such a small track. You hear mini in any car, and you're like, it's probably not that fast. These guys in practice were pretty much hovering anywhere between 101 and 113 miles an hour.
As, trouble there in the back. That is... Who is that? There's the 7 as well as the 88. Lots of issues there.
So we have from 23 down are now out of the race. Or out of the qualifying, I should say.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure if those drivers just did not make it into the qualifying session and have backed out. There's any number of reason why, only because with this being an open hosted session as opposed to a in-league session.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, these top 4 drivers, Joe, all under a blanket: Martin Plute, Ethan Amberg, TJ Moon, and Chris Darling.
Yeah, great battle going on up front.
White flag is out. Through turns 1 and 2, Plute able to hold on to it. Darling trying to make a move on to Moon. Can't quite get it done. Coming out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag. That's going to be Martin Plute winning the heat race. So Plute wins the heat. Ethan Amberg comes home P2.
As everyone crashes.
And at this point, why not?
Yeah. Through the magic of iRacing, none of these cars were harmed in the finish of this heat.
Yeah, miraculously, everyone's cars are going to be fixed and ready to go.
The pit crews here work real quick.
Yes, magically so. Let's let's bring on our one of our in-race reporters for this one. Let's chat with the driver of the number 81, Martin Plute. Hey, Martin, Bob and Joe here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Well, so far so good. Looks like things are pretty good on your end, winning the heat, leading pretty much every race. What are you seeing out of the car?
It's gonna be a track position race. It's hard to pass. You can't really run the top here, so yeah, I think it's just gonna be a lot of track position and probably more old school Bristol than what you see now. It's gonna be bump and run, so it'll be cool. These cars can take a lot, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, definitely saw quite a bit of chaos there, a little bit further down in the back of the pack. Nothing too much up front. You and Ethan both had a great battle with Wood as well as Chris Darling, so should be a lot of fun. We'll let you get back there to practice, but good luck for the rest of the run.
Thanks. Good to hear from you guys again this year.
All right, that's Martin Plute, driver of the number 81 machine. Let's get him back into the proper channel as soon as things want to work. There we go. But we'll leave Martin back to his back to the rest of his crew, and while we're doing that, let's check in as well with Ryan Newman, because Ryan has been also another one of our in-car camera drivers. And Joe, I believe you've caught up with Ryan.
Hey Ryan, we're in the booth as you guys are kind of warming up. How was the first session out there?
It was chaotic. I think someone else may have said it's going to be fun, though. Bristol's always fun. It's just a matter of being around your surroundings and staying out of the trouble when you can.
And how did the first qualifying go for you? Do you have any issues? Did you have any kind of adjustments that have to be made?
Yeah, second lap definitely was my slowest, which was opposite of what it should be. Just didn't hit the right line, and it is what it is. Car was a little bit looser than what I tested with earlier today, so just trying to get a feel of that and not to spin her around.
Awesome. Well, we'll let you get back to your warm up, and good luck.
Appreciate that, Joe. Hopefully, I talk to you after I put this thing on the podium.
Here's hoping.
All right, that's Ryan Newman, driver of the number 4 machine, and we do have one other driver to chat with, and we'll chat with him now as we're getting ourselves ready to go before the race. That is Zach Williams, and Zach, it's Bob and Joe up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, little adventurous first heat. Just finishing up warm-ups. I know everyone's getting ready to grid, but what have you seen so far?
The leaders are definitely fast.
That is for sure. We saw a pretty good battle between Plute, Amberg, and Moon. What are you kind of looking out for as this race unfolds here tonight?
Hopefully just trying to avoid some wrecks and keep clean so that we don't get slowed down at all.
Fair enough. Well, Zach, we'll get you back there with Ryan, and good luck for tonight.
Awesome, thanks.
All right, that's Zach Williams, driver of the number 69 machine, and we're getting ready to race here tonight at Bristol. 70 laps, yellow flags are on for tonight. And let's see how we stack up on tonight's race. Ethan Amberg gets P2, Martin Plute on the pole, and they're all going to line up the way they finished in that heat race. So Martin Plute, Ethan Amberg up front, TJ Moon, Chris Darling, row number 2, Matt Clifton, Joshua Colbreth in row number 3, Chaz Justice, Ben Pelletier in row number 4, row number 5, Corey Hutchinson and Ryan Newman, Stan Hausman, Chris Goswick in row number row number 5. Now we've got Dave Schmidt, Keyshawn Clater, row number 7. Zach Williams, Dave Harrington, row number 8. Tim Branson, Keith Powell, row 9. Row 10 has Wesley Baumeister and Landon Thrasher. Row number 11, Josh Langlin, Ezra Guecho. And row number 12, Sam Buckley and Timothy Watson, making up our 24-car field for the feature. So just like that, the pace car pulls off. Green flag in the hands of the flagmen. We're underway here at Bristol. 70 laps ready to go for tonight. Plute gets a great start. He's going to jump down in front of Amberg.
Ooh. As the 25 spins backwards.
Big wreck there on the backstretch. Yellow flag is out. We'll take a quick look at what exactly happened there. That was Chris Goswick who had the incident. Goswick just a bit of a push from the guy behind him, and getting caught up with that was the 75. Nowhere for Goswick to go. Branson smart there just to back it down and let it go.
Yeah, not really much you can do on that one.
Yeah, not a whole lot. Just wrong place, wrong time. And so far, after 3 laps, Martin Plute deciding, nope, he's not going to go down pit road. Thought he knew something we didn't know.
Yeah. I'm noticing these cars, with them being so light, the back end does get a little fishy so easy. I guess all it does take is a little tap there, and that's it. You're upside down, or you're backwards.
Yeah, it is so easy with these cars because they're fairly rigid as well as light. So one little tap is going to send the car spinning. And with Bristol, especially with how high banked everything is, not a whole lot of grip. The back end's going to feel real floaty. Just need a little bit of help, and around you go.
I think he's trying to race the pace car.
You know, I think he is. I think he's just trying to tell the pace car to hurry up. Over in the chat, Uzi Dorman says, Chaz Justice moving on up. Love watching this online. Good luck, everybody. Yeah, Justice right now sitting P5, up 2 spots from the drop of the green flag. There's Justice in the 23 there, in the blue and red machine. I love when people take the time to like paint up the cars and make them look like they're actually raced mini stocks, because you'll go to your local short track and you may see mini stocks painted just like that, just plain body. Maybe they had to put in a new front end, a new back end. It's different color, hasn't been paint matched yet. You just love seeing cars that are just so unique with these mini stocks, and that's a great looking 23 machine.
Yeah, I could see me getting carried away with these things.
They're very, very fun to drive. With that, the pace car pulls off. Green flag back in the air. We're starting lap number 6. Plute gets a great jump on Amberg. He's going to jump up in front of him. And then we've got quite a bit of a cluster here as we're 2, almost 3 wide. There's Justice on the inside of Newman. Newman and Hausman battling back and forth. A couple of similarly painted vehicles. And big slide there from Newman.
I think Darling actually had a great jump, but ended up bumping into the back of Amberg, who did not have such a great start. So that kind of sent him back to P4.
That's always a tough break there. It looks like one driver, that's Clifton, might have scraped the wall a tiny bit. That's always frustrating, too, when you know, man, I nailed that restart, but the guy in front of me didn't go, so there's just nowhere else for me to go.
Yeah. Just I love tapping now. I'm your speed, so now I gotta speed up again.
Yeah. Big wiggle there from the 39 of Hausman. Hausman had gotten in the back, looked like at the 24. Another driver got in the wall, that's Newman. Now everyone trying to take evasive action there in the back. Dave Harrington tries to get through Corey Hutchinson as well as Tim Branson. And that's Zach Williams down on the apron. Looks like he had to save the car from sliding out.
Some evasive maneuvers.
As it looks like right now, 14 cars out there on the racetrack. Meanwhile, out front, we got ourselves a good battle for third. Clifton there on the high side. Here's Chris Darling down low in one of the most exquisite paint schemes I think I've ever seen.
I was watching him out on track earlier, and I couldn't stop laughing.
It's just so good. Also terrifying at the exact same time.
I believe that's what is it, Ben Dover Racing?
Love it. Over in the chat. Go ahead.
Okay.
Was going to say over in the chat, 4am Watch says, what's the purpose of a pace car? In a race, should everyone try to go as fast as possible? Absolutely. The pace car there is in times of caution, where in real life racing, if there's a crash, the safety workers need to come out on the track. They send the pace car out for everyone to follow that car to drive at a slow. They're typically driving about highway speeds. But to slow the field down this way, track workers can get out there and, clean up the track, clean up the crash, etc. And obviously, there's nothing to clean up in a virtual race like this, but in order to simulate what would happen, with the pace car coming out, caution flag, everyone bunching the field back up, it's just there as a safety precaution, essentially. Pace car, another word you can call, is the safety car. They'll use that in more European racing scenes. They call it the safety car as opposed to a pace car.
That's a tilt for me.
Basically, it's there for safety, because otherwise they're going to keep going fast, and if someone's in a crash, you don't want them going fast around people. People tend to be squishier than race cars.
Only a little bit.
But meanwhile, we've got a great four-way battle between Plute, Amberg, Clifton, and Darling here for the top spot. Darling putting some pressure there on Clifton. Plute able to stay about a 0.3 of a second lead over Amberg. Here comes Darling to the inside of Clifton. Amberg also slides up, a little bit of contact there between the 77 and the 8.
Luke did say this track was going to be a little bit of a bump and go.
Yeah, and we very well could see that. I mean, we have plenty of racing left to go still. Just about 49 laps to go. Or coming to 49 laps to go. And, you might see that chrome horn. Just a little bump in from the front bumper to the guy in front of you, his back bumper. Just get him upset. Get the car off balance. Slide him up the track. You could tackle and pick up a spot easily.
Oop. The 92 of Branson. Ends up taking out a few cars.
Let's see if the yellow comes out. Let's get a quick look at that one. There's Branson in that black and red machine. They're 3 wide, big slide. And at that point, nothing he could have done there as Williams gets involved. The 22 as well gets it, or the 29 rather, if Goswick gets involved.
Yeah, going back to wrong place, wrong time. Just nowhere you can go to avoid that.
That is for sure. Looks like the 29 also might have had an issue there. He was involved in that crash, so we'll see how this is going to affect everyone. We're going to stack them all up and do it all over again.
You know, I was just about to say that it seemed like we've evened out the pace and everything is kind of set, and then but at least I didn't say it out loud, so it wasn't my fault.
That is true. There was no broadcaster's curse.
I just thought
yet.
it.
I think the telepathy counts, right? And wow, looks like the whole field heading down pit road. Is anyone going to do something crazy and stay out? Looks like no.
Is it just a new set of tires?
Yeah, probably tires, fill it up with fuel at the very least. These things do take a while to fill. It's not like your NASCAR or Formula One style pit stops.
Mm-hmm.
Typically in real life, it's usually just a guy and a bunch of buddies just saying, all right, yeah, let's change the tires as quickly as we can.
What do we got, a minute? Minute and a half?
Got a couple of minutes. Why not, right? As the field stopping, looks like a few drivers are taking tires there.
I definitely see a couple cars sideways, so.
And wow, Amberg beats Plute off the pit road. Same with Darling beating off Clifton. So very interesting to see that one. Although Plute, it's saying Plute is
the number one spot.
Is in front, but that might have just been Plute getting around the 9. Very interesting. Let's let's take a quick look at that one on replay just to see what exactly had happened between those drivers, to see where they were able to come off the pit road. Let's see here. Let's watch the 9 as well as he's down and away, and right there, yeah, it looked like the 9 definitely beat the 81.
So coming out of the pits, is it supposed to give you how you leave the pits is how you line up again?
Yeah, because caution laps still count, so whatever passes you made there on pit road is still going to count. But I'm just assuming that the 9 said, you know what, I'm going to take the outside for this restart. Leader does get to, I believe the leader does get to choose what line they want to run or what lane they want to restart in. But the pace car is off, green flag in the air. We're back racing 29 laps into this one. This here will be a great view of, just how fast these cars are all running.
Yeah. I can see these cars are a little loose in these turns. I guess it's going to take a couple laps for these things to kind of get these tires warmed up.
Oh, yeah, especially the cold tires are really not going to have a whole lot of grip. The 77 gets in the wall there. A couple cars back, I believe that was also the 21 who had gotten in the wall. Ethan Amberg falls back to third. Oh, trouble. 75. Dave Shutt goes around. Oh, Branson. Huge
Cannot
wreck.
get their break. Oh, man.
Let's see what had happened there. Let's go on board here. This is with Dave Shutt, the 75 machine. He's side by side with the 23. Little slide there and nothing for him to go. And
let's get
Branson.
a cockpit view of Branson on that one. See
Yeah,
what it's like when these cars fly.
Let's see here what exactly had happened. Maybe.
I don't think there was any way for him to avoid that without him getting wrecked anyway.
And hard lick. And, oh, not lucky enough to have gravity swap him over. And on top of that, looks like Cody Hutchinson had a moment potentially. No, I guess not. I guess SDK is trying to make me a liar.
There's already enough going on, STK. Don't.
Yeah.
We don't need more.
Trying to stay on top of all of this chaos. By the way, tonight's camera angles are awesome. They are brought to you by our friends at Track Cams for Gourmets. Make sure you check them out online, trackcams22.com. Great group of folks there, and they just came out with a new oval pack that I absolutely need to check out soon. So make sure you check them out, Track Cams for Gourmets, trackcams22.com. Well, Joe, we're getting ready to re-rack.
Yeah.
Be going green on lap 36. So just past halfway.
Yeah, at least now these tires will have a little bit of time to get a little bit worn in.
Yeah, there's going to be, the tires going to be a little warmer. They'll have a little more grip now. It's not like you're driving around on ice skates or anything like that, thankfully.
Yeah.
At least if you're the leaders, that is a very thankful, very thankful thought.
It's going to be interesting coming out because Darling has been having a pretty good jump off of these cautions, but has always been behind someone. So,
And now he's got some
what happens.
huge push there from the 21 of Clater, but Plute just gets a much better start.
Yeah.
Darling, though, is going to slot in P2, and he's going to start putting in work already, targeting and getting down onto Martin Plute.
At 21, very aggressive.
Yeah, he was all over the back bumper. He started back in 14th, already up to 4th. A little bit further back, little contact there between the 7 and 77. Ryan Newman in there as well in the number 4 machine.
It's not how you hit a jackpot, guys.
That is for sure. Justice there too. Justice right on the back bumper of the 4 of Newman. More contact. Oh, Newman sideways. Oh, big save.
What a great save.
Somehow Newman was able to save that. Let's go one more time. Get a look at that replay. This time from the roll bar of Newman. Because, wow. So here they are through turns 3 and 4. Take a look at the at Newman's hand there. Little contact. Oh, trying to save it. Kept it out of the wall, too.
I actually got a little bit of hand
as
that car drove by. It kind of set him straight.
Whoa.
As the 21 and the 77 get into it, and then 33 or 39 had to lock up his brakes.
Wow, let's go and get another look at that one, because that was wild. They're 3 wide there. You see the 39, the 29, and the 23. Big slide there for the 39 of Hausman, and nowhere for the 84 to go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Big old dent on the front end. Luckily, it's not a very aero-dependent track here at Bristol. So 12 cars out on the racetrack now.
I'm going to be honest, these cars don't look very aero to begin with.
No, these 4-cylinder cars are, well, it's like driving a brick down the freeway. It'll go.
I was going to say this has about as much aerodynamics as a Jeep does.
A couple of those drivers that were involved in the incident heading down pit road. Hausman, Newman, as well as Williams. Coming to 28 to go. As you get a good overview of where all these drivers are currently.
Also kind of gives you a feel of how small this track is. You see all those 18-wheelers on the inside. So you guys kind of got to gauge, we all know what tractor trailers look like and how big they are. You kind of see how small this track really is.
Yeah. And you can't really picture how just how immense the stands are around this track until you've been there in person. I'm lucky enough to be to go to the spring race here at Bristol twice, and walking in, you're just gobsmacked at how huge this track really feels, even with it being a small half-mile oval.
Yeah, it looks like the stands are just absolutely stacked.
Yeah, a few years ago, Virginia Tech played a college football game here at Bristol, called it the Battle at Bristol. And this season, I believe the Atlanta Braves are playing a regular season MLB game in the infield.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I forgot that was going to be a thing.
Admittedly, part of me really wants to apply for media credentials for the Bristol night race this year.
Come on.
So if you want to take a trip down to Tennessee, we should do that. But meanwhile, 25 to go. Green flag is out. Martin Plute, as he commented on the in the chat, the rolling brick drives out to a 0.3 of a second lead. We got a side-by-side battle here for P2 between Darling and Amberg. Chaz Justice there as well, looking to make up a spot. As it looks like I just had a bit of a connection glitch there.
Mm-hmm.
When it's one car blinking, you know it's that person's fault. When everyone blinks, it's your fault.
Oh, I don't even know what happened there. I think they just got into each other in the wall.
Yeah, it looks like an issue with one of our in-race reporters, Ryan Newman. Here's Newman in the 4. 29 goes to the outside of Williams. Newman, oh man, Newman came up the track. The 29 of Goswick was already there. Just a matter of wasn't exactly sure where the other one was.
Yeah. So they were not lying, right after they came off qualifying. These cars could take a beating.
Oh, yeah. I mean, heck, we saw the 92 of Branson, although he's 15 laps down, make it 14 laps down. He's back out on the racetrack and looks like he's got a brand new car.
Have the police departments looked into these things?
These things will take a beating for sure. As Branson's going to swing back around. Clifton, Goswick, Newman all heading back down pit road, probably to pick up a little bit more crash damage fixed.
Yeah.
There is Clifton in that black and green machine.
This is such an interesting pit. You have to pit at basically the other side and then drive around like 3/4 of a lap.
Oh yeah, that is the current day version of Bristol. Back in the old days, and technically nowadays, but iRacing just doesn't quite have the ability to code it in properly. But in real life, there's 2 pit roads. Under green flag conditions, you just drive down your pit road. But under yellow flag conditions, you drive down, you enter off of turn number 2. You have to go pit road speed limit all the way around the track. Doesn't matter if you're on the front stretch or the back stretch. But here in iRacing, you have to enter off of turn 2 regardless.
Interesting.
Uzi Norman says, how did his pit crew get him a brand new car so quick? 5 stars. Yeah, his that crew is amazing. Not a scratch on it. Looks like the 92 is given another wave around, so he'll pick up another lap. Now he's lucky 13 laps behind.
If he gets down to 9, I'd call him the lucky cat, not the lucky dog.
And now everyone trying to gang up there on the 81 of Plute. Trying to do whatever they can to slow him down. Darling on the left side. Amberg right behind him. But he's going to get on the loud pedal, or at least the lawnmower pedal.
Yeah.
And Plute on his way. Green flag back in the air. They're side by side for P2. Darling and Amberg. Amberg's going to get the spot. A little bit further back, there's Justice and Harrington. Harrington was just involved in that wreck, and he's all the way up to 5th.
Yeah, I mean, you could see basically what looks like he hit a deer on his front bumper, and he's still just right up there.
Absolutely incredible. These cars will absolutely get beaten down, and they're still going to be good to go. 17 laps left. There's a good battle here between Hausman and Hutchinson. Hutchinson in the black number 7 machine. Hausman down low in the pink and white, number 39. Meanwhile, out front, contact between Plute and Amberg. That's going to open up the door for Darling. Is Darling going to be able to do anything with this position? Darling trying to catch up to the back bumper. Darling will absolutely use that bumper to get him a spot. Oh, trouble in the back. A couple of cars came together.
Whoa!
That's the 77 of Matt Clifton and Zach Williams. That looked like that might have been another case of a couple of guys in the wrong spot. And, oh, man, Williams having a hard time getting going now.
Well, yeah, most of his front is missing, so.
That is also a very valid point. So let's see what happened here. There's Clifton and the 77. They come together. Williams just kind of minding his own business. He slides up the track, and he gets loose into the 29, and two cars become one, and that's a very appropriate number. And then he just could not get the car started up and in gear, and unfortunately, it looks like he might have just lost a lap. Yep, he's going to jump back to pit road. Uzi wants to know who let the deer on the track. Very rude. Crazier things have happened. I've seen foxes on track at Pocono. See the giant lizards in a couple of the F1 races every year. Hell, Pocono's mascot is Tricky the Fox because they see foxes on the track all the time.
It's wild.
Then the infamous Dale Sr. taking out a seagull in the Daytona 500.
It's wild with how big and how many people are in these tracks that a fox even remotely gets in over here.
Uzi says, really, what did the fox say? Not much when you get hit by a car going 180 miles an hour.
Probably ouch.
If anything, it's more of an... So we've got 10 laps to go. Plute leads Darling and Amberg. Chaz Justice there in 4th.
Averaging about 1 caution per 10 laps, so to my calculations, we should have at least 1 caution to go.
That's what I'm thinking. As we see the 9 all over the back bumper of the 81. Pace car pulls off. Plute waiting. Green flag in the air. 9 to go, and this time Darling had a great start. He had to wait for the 81. Now it's a 3-car race. Here's the 23 of Justice. He's fighting with the 92 of Tim Branson. We're going to keep this battle here. 8 to go. Darling, Plute, Amber, all under a blanket. Darling has the advantage. Plute still there on his quarter panel, not quite able to clear him as Darling. Now he does. Now Plute's in danger of losing another spot to the 9 of Amberg. Plute slides up the track to try to block, can't quite do it. Here comes Amberg with a little bit more momentum on the top. Chris Darling looking in his mirror saying, you know what, guys? You guys fight. I'm gonna drive away now. As we get a great shot of these two battling it out.
It was like Justice just kind of rode the wall there for a second and lost a little bit of time.
Oh, the 9 caught the wall just a little bit too. That's going to allow Plute to take advantage. I can never get enough of these views here.
Yeah, it's great and unnerving at the same time. Like, you shouldn't be traveling that fast without knowing what's in front of you, you know? It's
Completely agree. As the field comes down, 3 laps to go. Can Amberg do anything? Is Plute going to be able to catch up to Darling? Plute slides up the racetrack. Two to go. Darling holding strong, 0.4 of a second over Plute. Plute and Amberg battling. There's Ryan Newman as well, trying to jump into a podium finish.
I thought he was all but out. I mean, he was in like P11 at some point.
Upside down, sideways, backwards, you name it. Down the back straightaway one last time. Can Plute do anything? He's not going to be able to get to him in time. Out of turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. Chris Darling is going to win at Bristol. What a finish. What a race. Great fight between the top 3. And Plute gives Darling a little, hey, great job, buddy. So Chris Darling gets the win. Martin Plute in second. Ethan Amberg comes home P3. One final race. As Plute says, all right, bud, good job. So that is the final race before next week's season opener. That is going to be so much fun. If you liked what you saw here, you are going to absolutely love this season. 10 races, I believe. It's going to be awesome. But I think with that being said, let's see if we can pull some of these drivers down into the waiting room and get ourselves ready to go here for our post-race interviews. And Joe, I believe you've caught up with our third place finisher, Ethan Amberg.
Hey, Ethan. Congratulations on the podium finish. Crazy race out here. Tons of cautions. Did you have a strategy going into the race? And how much did it change with all those cautions?
Yeah, there isn't a ton of strategy to a race like this with these cars. You take tires when you feel like you need them, when the field's taking them. You don't really have to worry about fuel at all, so that doesn't come into play much. You're just trying to position yourself for the end of the race and hope things work out and have a lot of fun with it.
And what are your goals kind of for the season here in this new speed series?
Yeah, we've been running these mini stock races off and on all winter. They've been a ton of fun to do. A lot of close racing, hard battles. These cars can take a little bit of a beating. You can race a little bit closer and a little bit harder than you can with the cup cars and make some mistakes here and there, and it's not going to wreck you or the person you're going to race. So it's a lot of fun. having another series where you can really push, have a lot of fun with the cars, have tight, close racing, and not every race is an example of it, but you definitely get some really good racing sometimes, some green flag runs, some tight racing, and it can be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. From what we saw today, I mean, the season is going to be a ton of fun. I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
For sure. Shout out to Stan, Chris, Martin, all the guys putting this league together. I think it's going to be a blast. Coupling the little mid-season tournament that we have with the Cup Series that's sponsored by Highline Diecast Collectibles is going to be a really fun twist in the mix and might bring out some bigger fields than we've had for mini stock races in the past, which is going to be really awesome. Highline Motorsports, Go Sim Racing, all the sponsors normally shout out there through Cup Series, and we're excited to get the season rocking and rolling. This is the last recruitment race, and next week we're gonna get down and dirty.
Awesome. Well, good luck next week. Congratulations again, and excited for the season opener.
Thank you. Appreciate the broadcast tonight.
All right, that's Ethan Amberg, our third place finisher, and now I'm joined by one of our in-race reporters, driver of the number 81 machine, Martin Pluton. Martin, a very fun race. Unfortunately, Darling there got you at the end with just a couple laps to go. Do you think, kind of looking back, was there anything you could have done to kind of hold him off?
Yeah, start on the outside. If the problem is if you're on the outside of somebody off the corner there's just nothing the person on the bottom can really do unless they put you in the wall a bunch. So yeah, no, he just got a good start. My start sucked there, and that was that.
Definitely a tough break there for sure. The end of the recruiting session or recruiting season starting for next year already next week. What are your hopes of going there? I know everyone, hoping to win the championship, but what do you want to see next week to make it a successful race?
I just want this thing to, be popular. I want to have a bunch of people here every week. These cars are a blast to drive. And they can take a beating. So you can really push people around and get pushed around without too much of a problem. So I just hope this thing catches on and we get a lot of people out every week. And if we do that, then yeah, it'll be a good season.
Definitely. Well, Martin, before we let you go, I'm sure you have some shout outs. Let's hear them.
Oh, no, thanks. Thank you guys. It's always good to hear you guys again. Always fun to go back and watch these and get stuff named after me. So that's always fantastic. I've been scouting out some sand dunes this season.
I was going to say with the addition of those dirt races, I might have to name a berm or something after you this year.
I'm sure we can find something in Bristol. Oh wait, on the pit exit at USA, there's a little grassy berm. I think that's got my name on it.
Perfect.
So yeah, it'll be great. Now these are a lot of fun. Dirt's really fun in these, so it'll be a good time this year.
Awesome. Well, Martin, congrats there on the P2 finish, and looking forward to chatting with you next week.
Oh, found the wrong button. See you guys next week.
Awesome. That's Martin Plute. And Joe now is heading on down to victory lane with our winner of tonight's race, Chris Darling.
Hey, Chris, congratulations on the win. Before I ask you any race questions, where did you get the idea for you to paint that car?
I didn't paint it. It's from Trading Paints. It was the most aesthetically pleasing paint scheme I saw. I saw it on Trading Paints and it immediately caught my eye, and I said, I have to race this. I love it.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Bend Over Plumbing Services. All they do for whatever community they're in. I love it.
Was this race a race you expected to win, or was this kind of a surprise?
Not really. Honestly, I didn't really know what to expect. I haven't raced these cars on Bristol paved, so I was imagining it would be just like kind of a dice roll. I mean, it kind of was. You had to do a little lifting here and there, but it was really just about who could get on the outside of the other guy and make it stick, honestly.
Awesome. And for the last few laps, you were kind of behind Martin for the a good chunk of the race. What kind of changes did you make to kind of sneak out of that win?
I don't know that I made any changes. I was kind of caught sleeping on the last two restarts. I didn't really get good restarts all race, and then finally on that last one, I don't know if he messed up or if I just nailed it like perfectly or what, but I just got lucky, honestly. Once I was on the outside of him coming off two, I knew it was gonna be hard for him to really get back in the lead and complete a pass down there because I'd been trying to pass low the entire race and it hadn't worked. So I felt pretty good once I was on the outside of him coming off the turn that I'd be in the lead and at least he'd have to come up with something to get by me.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely worked out for you. um, well, congratulations again. And I'm sure you got some shout outs for us.
Yeah, gotta shout out you guys. Really cool that you broadcasted a recruitment race. We've never really done that before, so that was really cool. And definitely want to give a shout out to Stan for convincing us to all kind of get together and do this. It's definitely a fun time, and big shout out to all the sponsors that are gonna turn out and sponsor races this season. So it's gonna be a good time. I just want guys to show up and race because these things are definitely fun. They're like super fun to drive, so I'm just hoping that this thing turns out good and everybody shows up every week.
Awesome. Well, good luck next week in the season opener. Hopefully, we'll be talking with you again. And congratulations again.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, guys.
All right, that is Chris Darling, our winner tonight here at Bristol. And Joe, this is going to be a very, very fun season. I know we mentioned chaos all night long, and that's what we're going to have in store this season. Next week is going to be at Rockingham Speedway, another high-banked 1 mile track, and that is going to be just so much fun. But before we leave, we are going to go through our final finishers, or the final results for tonight's race. Chris Darling gets the win. Martin Plute comes home second. Ethan Amberg in third. Ryan Newman fourth. Matt Clifton comes home P5. Chaz Justice in sixth. Corey Hutchinson in seventh. Dave Harrington eighth. Stan Hausman ninth. Tim Branson comes home in 10th. Zach Williams in 11th. Chris Goswick 12th. Keyshawn Clater in 13th. Dave Shutt comes home 14th. TJ Moon and company all did not finish. Well, Joe, that'll just about do it for us. I'm ready to get the season started. Cannot wait for that.
Yeah, I'm super excited. This is if this is the next however many races we are doing this season, I can't wait.
That is for sure. And one of the big things I do want to point out here with the Speed Tuesday Dash Series, racing at Rockingham, Southern National Motorsports Park. We're going to be on the dirt here at Bristol. USA Speedway, Darlington Raceway, here at Bristol again on the pavement, USA Speedway on the dirt, Nashville Fairgrounds. I mean, this is just going to be a ton of fun. So many different varieties of racing, and you have those dirt races that are really going to throw in a wrench to everyone's season.
Yeah, I mean, this was chaotic enough. Now you're going to cover the track with dirt.
Sign me up. This is going to be awesome. Well, for one final time, make sure you check us out online, tabletoptrio.com, to see our schedule of when we're going to be racing, where we're going to be racing, and all that other fun stuff. So for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
This has been the Preseason Thunder at Bristol. It's the Speed Tuesday Dash Series. Thanks for watching.